Hey guys, it's Blue Eyes Master 91, and today I thought I would do an updated version of my Blue Eyes deck, so let's get on into it. Alright, so first we have 3 of the original Blue Eyes White Dragons. Nothing has changed on that. Next we have 3 copies of Alternative. Some people think that 1 or 2 copies is enough. I personally don't. I think that 3 is the right number because of him being treated as a Blue Eyes while on field and engrave. He opens up countless possibilities for fusion summons and just to be special summoned. So I think that 3 copies is a magic number for a alternative. I do have a single copy of Abyss Dragon. Abyss Dragon's effects are phenomenal in this deck. Upon being special summoned while you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field or in the graveyard, you can add a polymerization or ritual spell from deck to hand, and then at the end of the during the end phase, if this card is on the field while you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the board or in the grave, you can add a level 8 or higher dragon from deck to hand as well. So both are extremely good effects for this deck. His third effect is while he's in the grave, and that is you can banish him to increase the attacking power of all level 8 and higher dragons on the field. So you can virtually get your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Alternative Ultimate, whichever, whatever you have on the field, as long as they're level 8 and higher, and a dragon. You can get them pretty big quick. And I'll explain why here in a little bit. Next, we have a single copy of Dragon Spirit of White. He's extremely useful. He is considered a normal monster while in your hand and in the graveyard. He's also considered a Blue Eyes monster indefinitely. And when he is normal summon or special summon, you can banish 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. Face up, face down, doesn't matter. And then if your opponent controls a monster, his quick effect allows you to send him off to the grave to special summon a Blue Eyes from your hand. So he allows you to go into your Blue Eyes extremely fast, which is very, very good in this deck. So 1 copy of him is extremely nice. Next, they have 2 copies of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. I've been playing around with the number for this card, and 2 just seemed like the right number. I know that most players are probably going to run him at 1, and that's absolutely fine. He's not like Alternative where he is extremely beneficial to have more than 1 copy of. But I'll read his effect real quick. Other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon once per turn and only activate them while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on your field or in your graveyard. If a card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when the card was destroyed, or your hand, even if not. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So both those effects are really, really useful. Again, I haven't figured out if I'm going to keep him at 2 or not. But just being able to special summon himself indefinitely is a fantastic card in this deck and something that will help with consistency, I believe. Next, we have our 3 copies of Stone of Ancient. White Stone of Ancients is our gateway, so to speak. He allows you to special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck when it is sent to the graveyard, and it doesn't matter what Blue Eyes monster it is. It can be the original Dragon Spirit, Jet Dragon, or Abyss Dragon. Generally, I'll go for Abyss, but that's not always the case. Sometimes I have to go with the original first, and that's fine. He's also useful because he's a tuner monster, so he allows you to go into the guy that allows you to abuse Abyss Dragon your copy of Shen Shen. So we'll get into that in a little bit here. Next, I have 2 copies of Protector with Eyes of Blue. Protector is a fantastic 2-of in this deck. When he is normal summoned, you're able to special summon out a level 1 light tuner monster from your hand. And then you're also able to target an effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand. So he allows you to go into your Blue Eyes White Dragon very, very easily. So he's a fantastic 2-of. I really like how he runs in this deck, and I think that any more would be too many now. I know in the past I've done 2 copies of, or 3 copies of Protector, but as it stands now, I think that 3 would be too many, and 1's not enough, at least in this deck. Next, we have a single copy of Maiden. Maiden has 2 fantastic effects. So her first effect is when she is targeted by... When she's targeted for an attack, you can switch her battle position, negate the attack, and special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So she allows you to special summon out the star of the deck extremely quick and easy. Her second effect is when she's targeted by an effect, you can special summon a Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And with Protector, you can target her for the effect. She still goes off to the graveyard, but you still get her effect as well, according to EDO Pro. So, 2 very good effects. Oops, sorry. Nope, too far out. And sorry, I kicked my tripod here. So she's extremely useful. The next card in the deck is our copy of Sage. Sage also has 2 very good effects. You can discard Sage, target an effect monster, send it to the graveyard to special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. Target an effect monster you control, send it to the grave, and if you do special summon 1 Blue Eyes, from your deck. The other effect is when he's normal summoned, you can add a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. So both are extremely great effects. I tend to do the discarding effect more than I do the normal summoning effect, but either one is perfectly fine. It doesn't matter which one you do. Next we have a newcomer for the deck. Hold on, let me make a little bit of room. There we go. Next we have our threesome of the Dictator of D. This new version of the Lord of Dragons is absolutely insane. You can special summon from your hand by sending a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Let's see here. Once per turn, you can send 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. You can discard 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 card that mentions it, then target 1 Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard to special summon it. So those 2 bottom effects are fantastic, but the most broken effect on this card is while you control a Blue Eyes monster, you choose the attack targets for your opponent's attacks. So that top effect is absolutely insane, and is why a lot of people really dislike this card already, even though it hasn't been out very long. And then finally, we have 2 copies of Ash just to have a little bit of a hand trap. Just to have a couple of hand traps going. But that's it on the monster front. Let's dive into the spells and the traps. So, for the spells, we have 2 copies of the brand new Ultimate Fusion Quick Play spell card. Why does it look like this is really out of frame? Alright, so this quick play spell card is absolutely insane in this deck. During the main phase, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard into the deck. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used from the field as material. You can only activate 1 Ultimate Fusion per turn. So, this is a phenomenal way to recycle your cards in this deck. There's no other way to put it. This card is absolutely insane and gives this deck a lot of new power that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime playing the game. Next, we have a single copy of Polymerization. This is just for your Abyss Dragon search. I only have him at one now because I figured that 1 copy is more than enough, especially with Ultimate Fusion. Next, we have another new spell, Vision with Eyes of Blue. In keeping with the tradition of the Eyes of Blue spells, and monsters for that matter, this card was named after that. When you activate this card, you can reveal 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand. Special summon 1 monster from your hand once per turn. Once per turn. You can target 1 face-up monster. Wait, that doesn't... Anyway, sorry, I'm reading this and getting confused as I go. Anyway. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster you control. Return that face-up monster to the hand. Then apply the following effects based on the original name of the card returned. Blue Eyes White Dragon, special summon 1 card from your hand. Other, special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your hand. So, Vision is a phenomenal spell in the sense that you can use it to target Maiden, thus getting you her targeting effect. Even though she goes back to your hand, you still get her special summoning effect, again, according to EDO. Not sure how much faith I can put into the program, but as it stands, that's the only way I've learned how to use this card. Next, we have a copy of Bingo Machine Go, just because it's a great searcher in the deck. We have 2 copies of Melody of the Awakening Dragon to search out your Blue Eyes cards. A single copy of Silver's Cry to resummon normal monsters, specifically the Blue Eyes White Dragon or your Dragon Spirit of White. A copy of Return of the Dragon Lords, which provides protection from destruction as well as a special summon. 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More for effect negation. Harpy's Feather Duster to get rid of your opponent's back row. Raigeki to get rid of their field. Trade him for draw power. And another new card, Despia, the Theater of the Branded. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. If a face-up non-fusion fairy monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect or is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. I put this card in because of the fact that you can use it for fusion summons, and you don't need poly or anything. I thought it was a really, really good card to have, just because it allows you to fusion summon easily. But that's it on the spell and traps. Or spells, rather. Sorry, let's dive into the traps. And for traps, we have 2 copies of True Light. True Light is a newer trap card. It allows you to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard. And its secondary effect allows you to search out a spell or trap card that specifically lists the Blue Eyes White Dragon on it, as long as you don't have a copy on the field or in the graveyard. So, unlike with the Eternal Souls trap that allows you to search for the same cards indefinitely, but are very, very specific, this card allows you to search out Bingo Machine Go, Ultimate Fusion, the Ultimate Creature of Destruction, any of those spells. But the downside is you don't get to search them more than once, which is okay. And it also provides protection. Your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. If this face-up card is sent from the spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. So, unfortunately, like Eternal Souls, it does do a board wipe when destroyed. And I have found out through EDO Pro that if you have the trap card active in Ultimate Alternative Blue Eyes, if this card goes to the grave, he goes too. So, fun fact, I guess. Almost makes the card not worth playing because he gets rid of one of the boss monsters, but it's a fantastic trap card. Next, we have our Ultimate Creature of Destruction. It allows you to protect your Blue Eyes monster. 1. Target one Blue Eyes monster you control. This turn, that face-up monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. It cannot be destroyed by a battle. Also, any opponent monster that battles it is destroyed at the end of the damage step. While this card is in your graveyard, if you normal or special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of the Ultimate Creature of Destruction once per turn. So, I absolutely love this trap card. I think it's going to get a lot more play now, especially with True Light. And just the recursion of it is just incredible for this deck. I do run 2 copies of Impermanence and a copy of Evenly Matched for more hand traps. I have a single copy of Mirror Force and Ice Dragon's Prison as well. So that is it for the spell and traps as well as the main deck. Let's dive into the extra deck. So in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of Ultimate Alternative Dragon. If you use the normal Alternative Dragon as material, you get 3 pops on the field instead of just 1. Otherwise, he's just a big 4,500 attack point monster. And your opponent cannot target it or destroy this card with card effects. So, because of the wording, that's how True Light can still kill it, because it's not your opponent's card effects. I then do run 2 copies of Neo Ultimate Dragon, and I'll explain why. The fact that Neo Ultimate Dragon can attack up to 3 times if it is the only face-up card on the field is fantastic. But its other effect is why I'm running it at 2 right now. And that other effect is, during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Blue Eyes monster you control, you can banish this card from the graveyard negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So it just gives you a little extra protection for your monsters. I'm starting to use that secondary effect a little bit more often, but it's still not the world's best effect. It's not the world's best monster, obviously. Alternative Ultimate Dragon is far superior because it does have some protection, but it's still Neo Ultimate is still a good monster to have, I guess. Then we have a single copy of the original Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon just for Neo's effect. I run 3 copies of Twin Burst. I think that is a good combination because Twin Burst cannot be destroyed by battle and is able to banish anything it battles as long as it is your turn when you declare the attack. If it doesn't kill whatever it's attacking, it gets banished. If it is not your turn, it does not banish. And then another newer card in the deck is a single copy of Tyrant Dragon. Blue Eyes Tyrant came out in the Battle of Chaos, and I'll read off the effect. It can be fusion summoned with a Blue Eyes White Dragon and 1 dragon monster, and the effect is as followed. Must be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by tributing 1 Blue Eyes equipped with a fusion monster, unaffected by trap cards or effects. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn at the end of the damage step that this card battled, you can target 1 trap card in your graveyard, set it in your spell and trap card zone. So I absolutely like it. I love this card. I initially wasn't sure if I could run it because of how it's worded, but as long as you use Blue Eyes and another dragon and a polymerization, you're fine. And then that recursion for trap cards is pretty good too. So he's very, very useful, and he has a lot of good potential. Not to mention he's really good protection for that matter. Next we have a single copy of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, Azure Eye Silver Dragon, and then Shen Shen. Shen Shen is one of the better cards in this deck, because when you declare an attack and he is on the board, you can reclaim 1 card that is in your banished pile. So you get to take back your Abyss Dragon, your Whitestone of Ancients, your Ultimate Creature of Destruction trap card. They can all be returned to your hand or your graveyard. Also, anything on the field that is sent to the graveyard is banished instead. And then we have, just to round out the extra deck, we have our Soldier of Chaos, the Light Charmer, Verte to go into your fusions a little faster, and then our Link Kuriboh. But that is it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe and drop a comment down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.